Setting goals should be something everyone does throughout their life. It's an important step along your journey to your success. And if you want the inside scoop on the art of goal setting, stay tuned until after the music.
You're about to listen to a great episode of the Laz and B Experience podcast. Within this episode, my hope is that you obtain something that will help you find your success. So grab a pen, get your paper, your favorite snack or drink, and really listen to what I have to say. I truly believe it can be what you need to get you to your next level in life. So grab a seat and enjoy the ride, and I'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back to another episode of the Laz and B Experience podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. This is going to be another great episode where I will be talking about the art of goal setting. Now, we all know usually a lot of people like to set their new year with new goals at the beginning of the year. So I thought this would be a great time to talk about goals and the art of goal setting. I know some people also like to make it throughout other times of the year. So whatever time of the year you like to make goals, me, myself, I like to make goals around my birthday because that's my new year. A new year that I'm going to hopefully accomplish new things in my life. But no matter when you like to make goals, this is going to be a great episode for you. And I'm going to start off with, like I do with all my individual episodes, with a little story time. Now, one thing I love to do and think is important for everyone to do is set goals for themselves. I have goals for all parts of my life, from school to work to even working on this podcast. Now, setting goals for myself helped me see the bigger picture for that area of my life. Now, it also keeps me focused on what's important to me and not to stray away from those important values that I hold. Now, I remember when I first started college and really got involved with NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers. I created these goals for myself to reach different levels of leadership. Now, with NSBE, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the largest, if not the largest, student-run organization within the U.S. And all of the major leadership positions are students. So from the chapter level to the regional level to the national level, all of those positions are held by current students, whether they're working on their bachelor's degree, their master's degree, or their PhD. They are some type of engineering student. Now, I eventually wanted to be the national chair of the organization, which is the highest position anyone can have of the organization. But unfortunately, I didn't get that far. I did, however, make it to the regional board as the Region 4 vice chair, which is a level right under the national board. And if I would have stayed on another year, I would have eventually ran for the chairperson of Region 4, which is a position that's on the regional and the national board. So even if I got that position, I could have been on the national board, just in a different position from the national chair. So ultimately, I didn't reach my end goal of becoming the national chair, but I was able to get close and along the way make great connections, some who are guests on my podcast this season. I got to get a lot of internship and co-op experiences based off my leadership experiences that I had with NSBE, and I had a chance to make a difference within NSBE. All things that helped me reach other goals that I have for my life. Now, I'm not perfect, and unfortunately, I don't reach every goal I set for myself, as you see in my story I just talked about. But I hope that with this episode, I will show you why goal setting is important and how to set really meaningful goals for yourself. Now, before I get into this episode, understand goal setting is only a small portion of what you really want to do in order to be or find your success. It's what you do after you set your goals that is going to determine if you find your success or not. But while it may be a small part, it is an important part, which is the first thing I want to talk about. Why is goal setting important to your success? Now, goal setting is important because it gives you a roadmap to help you find what success looks like for you. Just like you need the GPS to find places you've never been before, you need your goals to help you find where you never succeeded before. Like I said before, it helps you to stay focused on the essential things and people in your life that will help you get to where you want to go. Understand with goals, they can and most likely will change throughout your life for a variety of reasons. As long as it's for a reason that you decide they need to be changed and not because someone told you to make those changes. Now, sometimes you may even fail like I did, but let me tell you a little secret about goals. Now, this is a secret I think is important and maybe some people don't think, but the most important reason for setting goals isn't necessarily to accomplish that goal. Now, yes, of course, you should be working hard to accomplish all the goals you set for yourself, but you don't learn anything at the finish line. Everything that matters the most is what you did in the process. You can accomplish all your goals you set for yourself, but if they didn't push you, get you out your comfort zone, or teach you something about yourself or the world around you, did you really accomplish anything? For example, if you're in school, in college, and your goal is to get straight A's, but you cheated the whole semester to accomplish your goal. Yes, you may have accomplished your goal, but did you learn anything useful besides being able to cheat? Did you get anything from the class that will help you with your future, which is the ultimate goal of the class? So yes, at the end of the day, when you set goals for yourself, they should be goals you really want to accomplish, but they should also be goals that through the process, you not only make it past the finish line, but you can also see a positive change within yourself on the other side of the finish line. So now that you know why goal setting is important, let's get into how to figure out what goals you should be setting for yourself. So as we all know, goals are specific for each person who makes them. So your goals should be geared towards what you want to get out of life. They should also be specific for different parts of your life. So you should have goals for your finances. If you're in school, you should have goals for what you want to get out of school. And a small side note, if you are in school, it shouldn't be just to get a degree. Of course, the outcome is to hopefully get a degree from the program that you're in, but also other goals should be making connections with different people, getting new knowledge of different things, having different experiences that you may have never had in other situations. So there are other goals if you're a student, just as a side note. Also, if you want to start a business, you should have goals for that. And then, of course, if you want to work on your health, you should have goals for your health. Anything that you can think of that you want to improve in your life, you should have goals to achieve it. Now, I'm going to get a little deeper into this later, but your goals shouldn't be for what you want, just be for what you want to accomplish right now. They should also be for things you want to accomplish in the next month from now, in the next year from now, or even from in the next 10 years from now. Now, in my opinion, you should have goals for the short term and long term, which is I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes. Now, if you're still having trouble coming up with goals for yourself, you should definitely go to a mentor or a trusted advisor. But at the end of the day, your goals need to be your goals and not just something someone told you to do. Again, these goals will be for your life. So if you really don't want to accomplish them, it's going to be 100 times easier for you to quit them when, not if, things get harder. So when going to a mentor or advisor, you should be going for them for advice, not the answer, not the goal in mind. They should just help you brainstorm on different ways to come up with goals for your life. You should also go to people who may be in the position or field you want to be in and ask them what they did to get to where they are right now. But remember, just like my advice I give every week, take everything with a grain of salt. What worked for them may not work for you in the exact same way, but at least you will have a starting point and something to reference while you're working on your goals. So now we know why goal setting is important. Let's get into what are short-term goals versus long-term goals. Now, when I say versus, I'm not saying whether you should make short-term goals or make long-term goals. I am referring to what is the difference between them. You should definitely be making both type of goals for yourself. So with the names like short-term and long-term, you can probably guess what they mean, but I thought I would make it a little more clearer. So if you couldn't tell, short-term goals are goals you make that you want to accomplish in a short period of time, and long-term goals are goals you want to accomplish over a longer period of time. But then you may ask, what is the length of a short-term goal and a long-term goal? And that is where it can get a little tricky. And honestly, the answer is you get to decide. You get to decide what is the length of a short-term goal and what is the length of a long-term goal for your goals. So for some people, they might have short-term goals as goals that they want to accomplish in the next week or in the next month, and a long-term goal is within the next year or two. And other people might have short-term goals is for the next year or two, while their long-term goals are for the next 10 years. The thing is, it has to make sense to you. Now, a short-term goal should be much shorter than a long-term goal, which means your short-term goal should be something you can accomplish in what you consider short-term, and a long-term goal should be something in which you can accomplish over a longer period of time. You might also consider the length of a short-term goal and a long-term goal by the type of goal you're trying to accomplish. So let's say you're in school. A short-term goal might be a week or a month, and then a long-term goal might be a year to 4 years. While if you're trying to start a business, you could have short-term goals as 1 year and then long-term goals as maybe 5 to 10 years. So again, it really depends on what you want your goals to look like. Now let's get into the format of goals with SMART goals. Now, when you're making your goals, you don't want to make them too vague or not specific. This can make it very hard to measure your progress and know exactly when you accomplish your goal. For example, if your goal is to go to the gym at least 3 days a week, how do you know you accomplished your goal? Is it 3 days this week only? Is it 3 days for the next month? Who knows? Because you didn't write it correctly, or you didn't say it correctly. So to solve this problem, we use a format called SMART goals. Now, I don't know who created SMART goals. I'm not sure what other formats are out there, but this format is well known and very easy to use. So the word SMART in SMART goals is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Now, specific means your goal statement needs to be clearly stated. So whoever reads your goals, including yourself, knows exactly what you want to get out of it. Next is measurable, which means your goal statement needs to have something or some element in which you can quantify whether you're being successful or not. Attainable means your goal should be something you can achieve when you say you can achieve it. Now, that doesn't mean to make it easy to achieve, but you also don't want to make it too hard where it's impossible to reach. So you shouldn't have a goal to make $1 million by the end of the year if you're not even on track to make $50,000. But on the other end, you also shouldn't make a goal to run a mile in 10 minutes if you're already running a mile in 10 minutes in 5 seconds. That's not a big enough goal. Next is relevant, and this means your goal should be something that is significant to you and what you want to get out of life. And then lastly, it should be time bound, which means your goal should have a deadline when you want to have that goal completed. So instead of my goal statement of going to the gym 3 days a week, You can have something that says like, for the next 6 months, I want to go to the gym 3 days a week so I can lose 25 pounds. Now, this goal is specific because I know what I want to do to accomplish it. This goal is measurable because I know if I went to the gym 3 days a week, and I can also see if I lost 25 pounds after 6 months. This goal is also attainable because 25 pounds is less than 5 pounds a month and can be done in a very healthy way. This is also a relevant goal because I want to start living a healthier lifestyle so I can be more active and live a longer and happier life. And then lastly, this goal is time bound because I want to accomplish it in 6 months. Now, getting into what I was talking about earlier with the progress you make being more important than actually achieving your goal. Let's say I only lost 15 pounds in 6 months. Now, even though I didn't accomplish my original goal, I did still have progress, and I'm still moving towards my ultimate goal of living a healthier lifestyle. While let's say if I did lose the 25 pounds in 6 months, but I did it in an unhealthy or unsustainable way, yes, I accomplished my goal of losing 25 pounds, but I'll more likely gain that pounds or gain those pounds right back and maybe even more. Also, with SMART goals, if you need more help or examples of SMART goals, you can easily just Google SMART goals or SMART goal examples and a ton of information will pop up. Now, the last thing I want to cover is what is something I talked about maybe just a little bit, but wanted to get a little deeper into it because I think it's important. And that is not comparing your goals to other people's goals. Now, in this world of social media, you see a lot of people accomplishing a lot, and we want to do the same thing, of course, because we all want to be successful. The thing is, you really don't know exactly what that person had to do to get to where they are. And even if you did, what worked for one person might not work for you. So remember, your goals are for your life. No matter the process or the outcome, you have to stay focused on you. You might see people accomplishing their goals a lot faster or even with more success, but you can't focus on that. Because the more you focus on someone else's goals and their accomplishments, the less you can focus on your goals. Their success and their happiness will do absolutely nothing for yours. At the end of the day, you are the only person who is with you 100% of the time. Do you want to spend that time looking at someone else living their best life, or do you want to spend that time on working towards living your best life? And with that, you now know the art of setting goals and can immediately apply it to your everyday life. But before you go anywhere, before you leave for the day, please, I would love for you to participate in my challenge of the week, because it would definitely mean a lot to me. Now, of course, you probably already know what the challenge of the week is, but let me say it anyway. So my challenge for you this week is for you to make at least 3 short-term SMART goals and 3 long-term SMART goals. Now remember, what you consider short-term and long-term is all up to you. Just make it make sense. If you want to go even further, you can start writing action plans you need in order to accomplish your goals. Now, during this episode, I didn't talk about action plans, but it's definitely important when you're trying to accomplish your goals, because the action plans are what you actually need to do in order to accomplish that goal. So it can be as many or as little action plans as your goal requires. It's just you have to actually do those in order to accomplish your goals. And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening to another episode of the Lansden B Experience podcast. I hope you were able to gain something from it to help you along your journey. Now, if you liked what you heard today, please comment, please share, please like and subscribe, so I know that you're not just listening, but also enjoying the content. If you have any questions, comments, topic ideas, or even guest ideas, please don't please don't hesitate to email me at lazenbyexperience@gmail.com. Seasons 1 and Season 2 are also available on all platforms you listen to podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts, that's Spotify, that's YouTube, and pretty much anywhere else you listen to podcasts at the Lazenby Experience Podcast, just like here you found this one. And lastly, for my readers, I have a blog that covers every episode topic, every individual episode topic, which can be found at lazenbyexperience.wordpress.com. And within my blog, I have articles from Season 2 of the Lazenby Experience Podcast, as well as articles from before I even had a podcast. So there's a lot of content that you can read out there if you are interested in that. Again, thank you all for listening to another great episode of the Lazenby Experience Podcast. And as always, until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of the Lazenby Experience Podcast. I really hope you were able to receive valuable information that will help you take actionable steps to get you closer to achieving your goals. If this is true for you, I would really appreciate it if you share this episode with others, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to continue receiving updates on new episodes. I truly am excited about how my experience, the Lazenby Experience, can make a difference in your life. Again, thank you for listening to the Lazenby Experience Podcast, and until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success.